and I proceeded to cut a very high-pitched squeaking laugh from the first 10 seconds of the video. However,
Lord.
in doing so, I seemingly turned a 1 hour, 10-minute video into about a 9-minute video. It is up on the channel, so feel free to have a look after this. So we may have to redo that topic in a couple of months' time.
The live stream's still up there.
Yeah, it's still up, but you've only got 9 minutes of it. Okay, so we are now live streaming, and we've seen a very tidy and organized bedroom. And
Lord, it is not unorganized. It's just Lord, the hell, I don't care. Continue.
So we're going to open today's hangout on the question of inherently good or are they inherently evil? This was put forward by Rukia. So would anyone else like to start?
Evil is good.
I'm going to have to cut that. I'll end up cutting this to about a 9-second video.
Oh, goodness. Evil is good. Now, and the reason I say it like that is because evil, when I say evil, I mean evil, true evil. There's asshole and then there's evil. Now, of course, people are going to look and they'll say, why the hell is he saying evil is good? Think about it like this. There's an old saying that says the road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? You know, no matter what you do, you think you're doing what's best for somebody else. So inherently, evil is good. Now, that's not to say that it's the right thing to do. That's not to say that you're walking on the right side of the situation. Because a lot of people would say, no, evil isn't good. Evil is a horrible thing, and we shouldn't be trying to do it. But, see, and I said I wasn't going to start this thing off, and here I am. But, evil can be consideredly good, and it can be considered evil. To a good person, they're doing evil things for the right reason, correct? To a bad person, and a good person is evil because they're trying to stop them from achieving their goal. So I guess it depends on what you're trying to say is evil. Because evil to some is a perspective. That doesn't mean that as an individual or a unique person you aren't capable of evil, because a lot of people are capable of doing some very evil shit. And it's the people you wouldn't expect. And it's those people that you'd never expect that do evil shit all the time. Now, I can't say from a certain point of view that those people feel like, you know what, I needed to save these people from themselves. I needed to help these people get somewhere. Or, you know what, I'm just fed up with everything. I'm just fed up with the fact that no matter what happens, they inherently do shitty shit. No matter how many chances I've given them, I'm done. I'm fed up, and I don't really want to see these people do good anymore. I'd rather just wipe them off the face of the earth. I'm doing the world a favor by wiping all the Pokemon Go players off the face of the earth. Now to the Pokemon Go players, I'd be an evil bastard because that would be subjectively be evil because I just took it upon myself to be judge, jury, and executioner to all these evil people. And that's pretty much where I'm going to start that at. I don't know, however, if you can consider uh, people inherently good or inherently evil. Because I'm going to say this, it's the way you're raised. Because if you're raised in an environment where you're taught and you're bred in hate, then it'll be easier for you as an individual to hate somebody you don't even know for somebody else's reason, not for your own, because a you haven't made that that assessment on your own. You're basing it off of what somebody else said. Oh, I don't like Rukia because Rukia likes Pokemon Go. I don't like Clang because Clang, Clang likes surfboarding, and I tried surfboarding and I fell and broke my back. It's like, okay, well, that just means I suck at surfboarding. That isn't a reason to dislike somebody or to hate someone. But we as a people, primarily, we do it and we look at it as a terrible thing. I mean, to say something is inherently good or inherently bad depends on your perspective. Because from one point, this person, oh, he's such a lovely guy. Oh, I just can't ever see him doing anything horrible. On the other hand, you got the other person here who has a little bit more experience. Everything that glitters ain't gold, baby. I mean, he might look good, but that don't mean he good for you.
But I guess what happens then if you have a situation where someone is perceived to be inherently good? So they go to church, they go to they go to work every day, they have a good family, they have a good home life, they're in perception, they're seen to be this fantastic pillar of the community, absolutely amazing, can't do anything wrong. And then one day, for whatever reason, they go out and run someone down, or they shoot someone, or they, I don't know, steal something, or something happens that triggers this kind of emotional response that means they go and do something bad, that then totally writes over all that perception. Does that make that person bad, or I don't know what I'm trying to get at, but that's.
I wouldn't say it makes a person bad or it makes a person good because of the simple fact that you can be. I guess the beautiful thing about life is you can be whatever you want to be. You can be inherently good or you can be inherently bad. That doesn't make you a terrible person. That you have a lot to.
So, one of the ways that I see us as human beings being inherently bad, we are more likely to be selfish people in ways. We tend to only think or do what is best for ourselves first.
I would say that we're all kind of selfish individuals, and we all put our own selfish needs and wants and desires first. Um, but I don't necessarily think that that makes you an evil person. Some of the means and ways that you might go about getting your own selfish wants, needs, and desires may be evil, but there, a lot of the time, it is, it's not by evil means.
Yeah.
Ron's like spamming my Facebook with all these emojis and smileys, so you'll have to just forgive the pause in the conversation.
That makes sense now.
But I don't think that makes people inherently evil or necessarily inherently good. I think people are like weighing scales, I suppose, in that when they're born, they know nothing. They know no good. They know no evil. And as Ron
They're
was
innocent.
saying, through innocent is a description that I wouldn't apply to that. It applies that they're a victim, and they're only innocent if they haven't done anything wrong. But by being good and by being evil, they learn that through their upbringing. So as Ron was saying, through their experiences, their life experiences, they're learning the culture around them, the people around them will inspire that good or evil in them. Or not necessarily inspire, but spur it on, I suppose. I think that there is, people aren't naturally evil. I don't think I've ever met someone who's naturally evil or even naturally good. There are exceptions, I'm sure. There are the Mother Teresas of the world, and then there are the serial killers and the mass murderers and the psychopaths of the world. Really evil, deranged people. But I don't think they were born that way. It's their own life experiences which have made them like that. They're not inherently good. They're not inherently evil. But a lifetime of experiences have made them like that.
That's true. You have to remember, sometimes growing up, you don't have a choice about the environment you're in. I mean, as a child.
But I have to disagree with that, because yes, you can, by virtue of being a child and growing up, learning whatever, you're born into certain situations, yes. You don't have to remain in them. You can disassociate yourself from people. You can disassociate yourself from ways of thinking, ways of being, ways of doing.
To an extent, yeah, I'd agree.
If I didn't like what was going on in this debate because I thought it was going to change my viewpoint and make me more evil, I'd just hit the hang up button.
Evil. Yeah. I don't know.
And the same applies in life. Yes, I know it's not maybe perhaps more as easy or simplistic or realistic as that. But we're going back to the topic of selfish needs and wants and desires and that. And sometimes because of those things, people keep themselves in certain situations because they have security, they have wealth, they have material satisfaction. Um, so they can't escape the certain situations that can influence their behavior.
That is true. But you have to what I mean by you can't escape as a child, someone under the age of 15 and below, and maybe someone under the age of 21 and below in some circumstances, they are a victim of their environment. They can't just up and uproot themselves because they don't have those type of resources at their disposal. The person that has those resources is dedicated those resources to keeping that person entrenched and keeping them there, raising them in that hatred and in that violence and in that darkness. Does that make them?
But surely, your moral compass in life might be slightly different to another person because of how you've been brought up. But if you've got enough people around you completely different to, I think the basic human tendency is to question, is to question why am I thinking like this, and that's where further learning goes on, and people change themselves because actually they may realize what I was taught, what I grew up believing, um, is wrong. I'll give you an example. I grew up in quite what was perceived um, quite with family members who had quite racialistic viewpoints, and I grew up thinking, oh, is this this is right, this is normal, we shouldn't. I should be hostile towards Chinese people or black people or whatever. However, growing up and being around other people who challenge that view or challenge that idea made me realize that actually this is wrong. Um, does that make me evil because I believe like that, or I did believe like that?
I don't know.
I guess it's all about. I don't know. I guess it's all about perception. As I said, it ultimately comes down to your perception of life and your perception of others. Do you choose to do you choose to believe what you were taught, or do you choose to step out on your own and
No, I believe that you can be any color and still be an idiot, and or any race and still be an idiot, or be a bad person, or steal, or lie, or cheat, or be uneducated or ignorant or naive. That's not down to race or color or creed or whatever. Perhaps what I've been brought up to believe. Um,
and then you cut out.
I guess that was where my train of thought ended. Sorry, I have to forgive the ums. They appear not always in the most intended of places.
It's all good. Um, so I do a lot of work with kids. I do a ton of babysitting and just a lot of work with kids. And my question here, just bringing this up, is you can have two kids raised in the same environment, having some of the same things, but show up completely different. In particular, like One grows up, super nice person. The other one does some messed up stuff. So, yeah.
You must be doing something very wrong to have what. So I was trying to make a joke, but yeah, you must be doing something wrong as a babysitter, Rukia.
Wow. Wow, I feel hurt.
No, but what do you think then? Why does that happen? What makes the one kid do good things and the one kid go and do awful, fucked up things?
And that's what I don't know, but that's why I was bringing it up, is see what you
Well,
have
the
to say.
kind of the way you left it open made me think that it must be your fault.
I don't try. I'm fairly good babysitter.
I'm joking. I think we're going back to you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know. Do you know what? Most situations like that I know of, normally the good kid has had a really rotten upbringing. They've been around people who are abusive or maybe not interested, and then the good kid has a really shitty upbringing. They're around they're around parents that. Sorry, let me get back to my train of thought. The bad kid has had a really good upbringing. They've been around really good parents that have swarmed them with love, and maybe they're a single child, so they've got everything in the world. They want for nothing, and yet they go and do something really, really shitty. So,
I hope your videos aren't monetized.
well, I don't think this one will be with the 2 or 3 times that I've sworn.
We'll be back after these fucking messages.
But I guess that argument there supports the fact that some people are born inherently evil or inherently bad, and some are born inherently good. It can also, on the flip side, say, well, actually, the good kid is good because his upbringing has made him good, and perhaps he started out as evil. He was surrounded by bad and wrongdoing and abuse and negligence or whatever, and has somehow risen from that. He's grown. He's become good. He's whatever. Whereas the bad kid, maybe he was just born that way. Knows no better.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting because I don't watch the news often. I don't know if any of you do, but what sticks out the most anytime that I do is obviously the negative things and how we pay more attention to what is negative than what is positive. And what I'm wondering is whether or not that's leading to something more in our human nature of more of an inherent evil than an inherent good.
Yeah, I think it encourages people to see bad and do bad. I think media has, mainstream media has a lot to answer for with that, and we do focus on the bad because we're all nosy people. We all like drama. It's all exciting. It's I was saying this last night in that out of maybe 100 deeds, if 99 of them were good and one of them was evil, the evil one would be reported on, would be capitalized, monetized, because people are drawn to drama. They're drawn to, you know, that kind of thing. I like the goggles.
Why, thank you.
You look very steampunkish.
I personally believe that people are inherently good, but I'm also being the devil's advocate here because, whoa, whoa.
You'll have to forgive us. We're all figuring out the ways of Google Hangouts and the like. So
I'm not used to seeing Ron this colorful.
that was quite a racist comment to make.
Whoa, I'm sorry. You're kind of far out there, Ron. See, I personally believe people are inherently good and that there's good in everyone, even if it's never brought out. But I also believe that people, some people just cannot be good. But I believe people in general are inherently good.
What's your closing statement then, Mr. Ron?
Well, well, it all comes down to, and I believe that it all comes down to how you're raised, and pretty much how you are as a person raised by individuals defines how you are as an adult. So I'm not sure if it's an inherently good thing or if it's an inherently bad thing. Um, I can't speak to to that, but I can say that given the increasingly amount, given the increased amount of issues that happen throughout the world, it's hard to say that a person is inherently good or inherently evil unless they choose to embrace that role. It's like they choose to pick a side. I choose to be, you know, if I had to label myself, I'd say I'm chaotic neutral. Somebody else might say they're, chaotic good or, chaotic evil or true evil. Because true evil, if we say true evil, then we're completely talking about true evil or true good or true right or true wrong. Batman would be considered, you know, neutral. Probably, he'd probably be considered, neutral to a heavy extent. Whereas, you or I would be considered, um, well, oh, damn it, strong button. Whereas you or I would be considered, um, I want to say you or I would be considered, neutral individuals. I guess, hell, depending on our mood, anybody can be considered pretty much anything they want. And as far as the way these things go, it's totally possible that a lot of what we do and a lot of what we say can be perceived by others as a reflection of our individual selves. Whether we are inherently evil or inherently good, it ultimately is a reflection on us. And I'm going to close with that thought that it ultimately is a reflection on us. Thank you.
Yeah, I will just close on this hangout by kind of agreeing with you, and saying that our our actions, yeah, no one is inherently good or inherently evil. You are defined by your actions. If you do things which are considered good, then you'll be perceived to be good. But at any time, you could do something bad just by because you're doing good things for whatever reason, whatever motivation. It doesn't mean that you're a good person. You're not inherently good. There's always that potential that you can do a bad thing and become a bad person. And likewise, you could do a lifetime of bad things, but that doesn't necessarily make you a bad person, because there's the potential for you to still do a good thing, make a good decision, a good choice, a good action upon somebody else or yourself. But your perception is that you might still be a bad person. So no one is inherently bad or inherently evil. It's your perception and other people's perception of you.
So this goes back to what I was saying then, that evil is good. I mean, because you can't necessarily say evil is bad. You can't necessarily say evil is a horrible thing either, because evil, you know, evil, the whole big thing, evil. To some people, it's a justifiable means to do something, and for others, it's a justifiable way to. It's a justifiable way to, you know, it's a justifiable way to, huh?
I think Rukia has a closing statement to make when you're finished.
Well, then, Barney, step right up.
So, thank you all for watching this discussion between us. I promise you that I'm going to make sure that there's less messing around next time and more scripting. And second thing, my channel, Rukia's Cafe, which will be having a video put up on it here soon. I am going to be doing an instruction set on how to install folding at home for doing protein folding for like cancer, Alzheimer's, and all that. So here today or tomorrow it'll be uploaded. Go take a look at it.
I think next time we'll have to mute Mr. Ronald to avoid the sound effect.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Take us off of live.
And on that note, thank you to Ron and Rukia for joining in on this hangout. Feel free to subscribe to this channel, and we look forward to the next one.